All right, time for another workout. Um, March 31st, 2020. We are still in a technical quarantine. Although I look outside and I can see a ton of people going out and stuff like that. But it is what it is. It's a time where, well, humanity's in transition, and I think it's a necessary evolution. Um, just because it's pushing people to value everything so much more, um, value health, and it's good because people are. Well, I know a lot of people that are taking the time to actually get back in touch with themselves from being completely dissociated, right? Our modern day society dictates that we work and we go home and we sleep and we eat and we sit. We keep sitting and our hip flexors getting tight and our posture is going to shit. Um, well, this is the time, people. All of you watching this, perhaps you're going to be watching this, a few years from now. Um, and there'll be some other time where, humanity's in turmoil and we're going to be confined. Well, I pray it doesn't happen, but at every given stage of humanity, there has always been some sort of challenge, right? Um, and that's the way it is. That's the way we evolve. And I'm kind of fearless. Yeah. So what if you get sick and die? So what? You'll come back, right? You'll come back as human, or hell, you could ascend to a higher frequency being in your next life. Don't fear. Live your best right now in this existence, and everything else will fall in place. Living in fear makes your body tight, it stifles emotions, right? It stifles creativity. So, yeah, live the best you can right now. Anyway, enough of this ranting. All right. Everyone loves training, right? I love training. And not a lot of people actually focus on recovery. And today I'm gonna show you guys a little recovery that I do, which is foam rolling. All right. I'm gonna sit up here. This foam roller is kind of a fancy one. It's made by Hyperice. Amazing company, one of the best in the world, right? The best in the world. This one vibrates actually, but you can do this foam rolling routine with any hollow core foam roller. It's probably gonna cost you like $20 at max. Um, Regular, just go to like Sport Check or like Walmart or fuck, I don't know, Decathlon, wherever you are in the world, you're gonna find a foam roller, right? Get a foam roller. So I'm gonna set this down. I am actually in a little exercise recovery myself. I had a good workout yesterday, and even otherwise, just for maintenance, for posture, mobility, breathing, just taking out the tightnesses that manifest uh, just through life, right? I foam roll because it increases my performance. I can be more explosive. I can exert force uh, way better, and it makes me feel looser, right? So that's why I foam roll. I also foam roll so my muscles can, get more nutrients to them, etc., etc. Enough of ranting. I'm gonna turn this foam roller on, and hopefully this will give you some ideas as to what you need to loosen up. Um, yeah, let's get started. Cool. So I'm gonna set this down right here, just so you can see. Can you see? Perfect. All right. Well, I have a yoga mat here. You don't need a yoga mat. I'm not actually going to use the yoga mat. I was just sitting on it. Um, Also, these videos are basically going to be uncensored. I'm not going to be editing them, right? I want to maintain my authenticity. I don't want to edit my videos. I want this to be like an ongoing conversation. Whatever comes to mind, I speak about. And yeah, there's going to be no filter. I am going to use profanity sometimes, you know? I'm going to try not to, but I am sort of a potty mouth, and I do tend to. Oh, look at that tricep. Progress. So yeah, this is going to be an ongoing conversation between you, my viewers, and me. And I'd like to share a bunch of thoughts, you know, whatever comes to mind, pressing issues, I don't know, my psychology, my approach to fitness, my approach to life, my approach to relationships, you know, all kinds of stuff. And sometimes I'm just gonna want to need to vent and, you know, get out my energy, right? Which is what working out is. Like right now, I am seemingly speaking to a camera, right? But I'm also speaking to myself. I'm reinstilling, I'm reaffirming my core values. So yeah, here we go. So foam roller, I start by sitting on it. I try not to bend my back and go down there. I want to be nice and upright. I want to go right below the base of the spine, the tailbone right there. I want to get on the glutes, right? I want to start foam rolling there. So this one it actually vibrates, like I said. So I'm going to turn it on. I hope that noise isn't too annoying. It's pretty quiet. It's a great piece of equipment. So I'm going to foam roll and let that vibration get into my hips and my glutes, right? The whole groin area, which gets super tight. On an energetic level, tight hips are usually associated with sexual dysfunction, right? People being too sexually charged and not having the opportunity, or I don't want to say, well, it would be the opportunity or the outlet to discharge. So we're charged and we're always tight in the hips, right? We need to discharge. So some of that discharge happens through exercise, dancing, right, which is also a form of exercise, energy work, you know, like Reiki, bioenergy healing, yoga, sex, going out and having fun, right, engaging with the opposite sex, just in conversation, nothing more than that usually required. Building up our self-confidence, a good posture, right, when we're kyphotic, meaning shoulders rounded down there, up here, the tightness down there is going to manifest, right? So straightening up your posture from up top here is going to loosen up everything down here. Your feet are extremely important. From here, I'm going to place my ankle on my thigh. I'm going to put a hand here and I'm going to lean over a little, right? So I'm going to offset that. Offset the foam roller so it's on the outer curve of the glutes, which is the glute medius and the TFL. The TFL is tensor fascia latae, and it's the outer muscle. We as a human race, collectively in society, have the TFL and the glute medius to be the weakest muscle in the human body, just because we're always sitting down. So I'm gonna loosen these up. I'm gonna switch to the other side. Sorry, I'm not gonna turn around. I'm gonna do that. Offset my weight. So you can take your time. Take how much ever time you need when you're foam rolling. Foam rolling should not be like, oh hey, I did my whole body in 20 minutes. Um, Everyone's starting point is different and everyone's rate of progression is different. You're gonna have to take the time. This is a very yin art, meaning feminine, feminine in energy, meaning it's very cultivating, right? So this would be the opposite of working out. This would be working in. Just like breathing exercise and the Wim Hof method. I'm sure some of you are familiar with the Wim Hof method. So yoga, energy work, etc., is very feminine in the sense that it's cultivating. All right, we're done there. So from here, I'm gonna not fall off the foam roller. I'm gonna stretch my legs. I'm gonna open one leg out, go into a 90-90 stretch. You see that? So 90 degrees out here, 90 degrees out here. And I'm gonna roll the inside of my thigh, which is the adductor complex. Easy way to remember adductor and abductor is adductor is adding to the central line of the body, right? And abductor is on the outside, meaning it's taking away from the body. So when your hips get internally rotated, these adductors get tight. So for the sake of actually facing the camera, because I'm speaking to you guys, I'm gonna show you what I would ideally do. Ideally, I would stretch this leg out, right? You can do a little of that work, and then come back on the foam roller. And then from here, I would go into my 90-90 right there. You know what? You guys can probably hear me still, so I'm just gonna continue here. This feels amazing, can also be quite painful, depending on what part of the body you are working on. All right. I'm gonna. Whew. Yeah, that's a little painful. Might need to shake it out a bit. This could completely make you feel like you're off kilter, off balance, sometimes a little lightheaded, just because all of your muscles that are tight and you have that hard holding pattern, and like your nervous system has this tight holding pattern, right? So once you massage it and loosen it up, it starts opening. So now with all of that loosened fascia and tissue and muscle, your nervous system is going to have to rewire and reprogram everything, right? You're going to have to reprogram in all of these ranges of motion, etc. So it's normal when you just start foam rolling, or especially if you get a vibration therapy device, that you feel like, whoa, my balance is off, etc., etc. Stick with it, go with the flow, trust the process. The next part that I'm gonna work on is the hip flexors up here and down through here, and the quads, right? The quadriceps get tight as well. All you gotta do is get on there. You notice this leg is off the ground, so my weight is basically here on my elbows, my palms, and on that quad that's on the roller. So I'm just gonna roll right there. Oh, this is definitely one of the most painful things you will ever do for recovery. And believe it or not, it helps. Now you notice it's not on vibration mode right now. Just because you can actually do this with any foam roller,
right? So just for the sake of demonstration, it's not on vibrate mode. I'm just rolling, and just my body weight is enough to actually break up that tissue. So what I'm not doing here is I'm not up there, and I'm certainly not down there. So it's almost like a plank. Alright, when you're done with that, get back on the roller. We're gonna roll the back. We're gonna decompress the spine. Gonna roll in there. You notice I didn't just collapse down there. Yeah? Just gonna decompress a bit. Sorry, I'm gonna have to shift a bit here. There we go. By putting your hands up overhead, you're actually opening up the shoulder girdle, right? The scapulae, those two flat blade-like bones in the back, onto your scapulae. And a lot of little muscles tie in and out of the scapulae. Also, if you go out here, it's a different feeling, right? The rhomboids, right in the center in between your shoulder blades, are exposed when you do this. Basically, hugging yourself, you expose those two little rhomboids in there, which actually the rhomboids sit below the trapezius. The trapezius is up here, right? So the rhomboids are actually embedded a little underneath the trapezius, right? So once you hug yourself, you open up that shoulder blade and you expose the rhomboid underneath. Extremely important muscles to improve your pulling capability, your pull-ups, posture. And of course, in turn, breathing and the way you hold yourself upright, the way you engage people. We're going to talk more about all of the energetic benefits. I think I'm pretty good over there. Wow, that feels amazing. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to open up the pec minor, the pectoralis minor, and the bicep. Now the bicep ties in up here, right? It actually ties in up there. And your pec minor and bicep get really tight from doing what? Internal rotation, upper arm, internal rotation of the upper arm. Meaning all of the muscles in the back are now stretched, and all of the muscles in the front have contracted, right? So if we stretch the front part, we move back there. Isn't this better posture? Right? So I hope you're understanding some of these concepts. Very important. So what I do with the foam roller is I basically get into my plank, right? And I gently drop myself. So the foam roller is going to be over here, right? And then my arms outstretched and I'm going to actually roll out there. Yeah? My thumb up and I'm going to get onto the bicep. Ooh. Now I already foam roller, so this is a quick demonstration. And then I'm actually going to do a workout after this. I'll probably record that one as well. On there. Thumb up, open palm, splay the palms. Splaying the palm, maximal distance between your pinky and your thumb, maximal distance between your pinky and your index. Right? So those 3 points of contact means you got a nice stable base. So, yeah, I'm gonna talk more about that as well. But basically you wanna keep the palms nice and splayed. You don't wanna be that way or caved in or weak, right? Splay the palms. Start loosening up all of those tight muscles right from the palm into the head. And of course, everything along the kinetic chain, your elbow, your shoulder, and then neck and head. All right, I guess that was it for now. Um, I'm reasonably well warmed up, and yeah, I'm gonna do my workout. See you soon.